everybody, I'm Elisewong, and today I'm going to share with you how I did this glorious tiny mini mountainous scene. So for this piece, I am using purely oils. I am using Holbein water-soluble oils. As for the canvas, I buy them from Art Friends, and they're like this tiny little mini canvas. It's really cute. So I did a mini canvas painting of a cat portrait a while back. You can click on that pop-up link if you want to check it out. Because of that video, I had a couple of people who actually wanted to see more of the mini canvas series, and now I shall deliver. I do have to apologize, I'm sorry it took this long, but I hope you guys see this video and I really do hope you enjoy it. This will be separated into two parts because I actually did this tutorial live on Twitch. So I'm gonna have part 1, which is the mountainous scene, and part 2, that will be the cat's eye. And the cat's eye will be found in this pop-up link when it's ready, so you guys can check that out as well. I don't have much experience with oils. The first time I tried was actually a cat portrait as well, and I even recorded my first attempt. You can see it was a little muddy. There was a bit too much blending involved because I didn't quite understand the properties of it. I didn't know whether it would act like true oils because I'm using water-soluble oils, or will it be like acrylics, but then it just takes an hour to dry, something like that. Turns out I do think that it has a lot of properties of oils. Not that I ever used oils before, but it took a really long time to dry. Like even overnight, the paint doesn't actually dry. You know, it's the moment you touch it, it's still pretty wet. So with my limited experience of oils, I actually looked up a little bit of Bob Ross paintings, and then I got a little inspired by that. So kind of channeled my inner Bob Ross for this video. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and it would really mean a lot if you like and subscribe to the video, and share it to your friends who you may think might find it helpful. I share videos, tutorials, and reference photos for artists to use for free, and if you'd like to help and support to make all this sustainable, you can do so over at Patreon. I also like to thank my patrons over at Patreon for help making all this possible. You can also join my Discord server where I'm trying to create a more wholesome community there, and you can also get notified when I go live on Twitch. It's a great time to actually see how I do my art in real time, or if you have any questions about my process, you can do it over there. All links are down below in the video description, and I know, let's just go see the tutorial. Alright, for today, we are going to use Holbein water-soluble oil colors. I used it once and I was fairly happy with it. I think it was actually quite like oils. I actually did a YouTube video on that, and on my first experience on using it. For today, we're going to do some studies on landscapes, and I picked this really nice landscape piece on Pixabay. I really like it. It's like a lot of blues and whites. So let's see. This Holbein water-soluble oils was given to me by my local art store, Stickerific, and I am definitely super psyched to check it out. So because the scenery has a lot of blues, I'm gonna pick all the blues, obviously. This is a drying gloss, quick drying medium. I don't think I'll ever, well, I guess that's quite interesting. Probably have to research how to use that. I would probably have in some purple as well, just to get that nice color formula going on. There's a little bit of sunset in the reference photo as well. I might use some cadmium yellow. I do love cadmium yellow. I think lemon yellow is a bit too like, I don't know, too lemony, I guess. I do like that little tinge of orange in there, a little bit warm. So I think these are the colors I'm gonna use for now. So I bought these from Art Friend. I really love it. There's like mini canvases. They're so cute. They come in like different ratios of rectangles. So I really like it. It's like good to experiment. I got like long rectangle here, then you have like the normal 3x4. I previously did this with acrylics. These two are with acrylics with golden artist color. I also did a YouTube on that, if you guys want to check that out. I actually had 2 requests to do more mini canvases, I did not get around the time to do it, so no, I hope they don't, give up on me. And so, okay, these two are actually quite different. So when I bought these, they're kind of like rough texture. These are actually I thought this was a price tag. I thought I could tell you how much it was. It was quite cheap because it's really tiny. So when I bought this, it's definitely like a medium tooth to it. I feel like every time when I go to art stores and I go buy like canvases, usually they're kind of medium textured, and there's really no variant to it. So I like mine smoother. So if I wanted to do like more details, especially on fur and stuff, I would usually like gesso my own canvas and then I would sand it with paper just to make it extra smooth. If I want it more impressionistic or landscape, that I don't really care. In fact, like I want more texture in it, and then I don't gesso it. I just leave it as is. So these are actually pretty different. You can even feel it. This is much smoother. So I have one of the reference photos I got with me is actually a cat's eye. And these are the rough ones that I'm probably going to use for scenery painting because they have more tooth in them. So I'll just leave this for later. I'll start with this one here. Okay, so for this one, I got my palette knife here and my color palette, and I'm gonna use a little bit of everything. So I have black. This will be all the shadowy parts. You know what? Never mind. Let's not start with black. Let's start with blue and white first. I'm looking at the scene and trying to gauge it myself. Okay, I think this will make a nice cobalt blue. So I tried this before. I thought it was really nice. It was very much like oils in the sense that, because it says it was like water soluble oils. I was really confused. I was kind of thinking, oh, okay, I was hoping that it would take an hour to dry, as compared to acrylics. Acrylics takes like minutes, like sheer minutes. And so I was like hoping it would dry fast as well. Oh no, it didn't really dry at all. It, in fact, was the total opposite. It took like a day and a half. Oh no. Okay, there it is. My cloth. Yeah, so it took like a day and a half. It's like, oh my goodness gracious, it took so long. So that was very interesting experience. So I'm gonna try a little bit here. Okay, put a little bit of that. I think maybe a little bit of cerulean. One of my favorites are also cerulean blue because it looks very sky blue-ish. That's why. Okay, then put a little bit of that. So this is it. I took my brushes out and it looks quite it looks quite small. I chose the small ones. So these, I don't even know. This is like size 0. Don't even know what size this is. There's like nothing written on the brush. It's a really old one, so you can tell that I use really old brushes. Like these are from, I don't know, when I started painting. I never really spent much on brushes. I just bought whatever I got my hands on. So I got a fan brush for texture reasons. So yeah. So I felt that I really like this scene and I want to make it bigger, so I'm taking the extra long one. I do love extra long scenes. So usually if I am working with acrylics, I would get super nervous it would dry out. Since I'm using oils this time, I'm like, eh. Alright, I got a little mechanical pencil with me. and I'm just kind of just outlining. I can't bobross this, guys. I need I need to know where I am painting, okay? So I just, you know, just kind of trace it a little. It's actually pretty bad. It's really bad, but you know, I am trying my best here. Okay. So then you got little trees back here, whatever. I just need to kind of basically know roughly where is everything. So that's where all the snow is. The mid-ground is kind of like where all the snow is. And then over here, I will add that as part of the water. And yeah, there's like little shrubs here and there, but I'm not gonna care about that. Basically, I just want to know where's my foreground, mid-ground, and background. So I'm gonna take my old brush here. I don't really like. One thing I love about old brushes is I don't give a shit what happens to them. I'm like, yep, I'm going to treat them really badly because they already look so ugly. So yes, that is what we're doing. We are not treating brushes with extra love. I guess that's why I never really spend much on brushes anyways, because I have friends that would like, they would spend so much on brushes, and I am like, I just bought it for like a ringgit, like less than $1 from the stationery store. So yep, that's what happens. Don't really care. Well, ugly brushes have their use as well. They are very, very helpful. I'm not saying they're totally useless. I'm saying they're very, very helpful in their own way. That's all. So I think I probably shouldn't have add much water in retrospect. I feel like it's a little bit too watery. It's not looking thick enough. It also doesn't have that nice smell. I never really worked with oils before, but yeah, it doesn't smell very nice. It's not strong, but yeah. Doesn't smell nice either. Okay. Just gonna put some on the top here. I always wonder what it would be like to be like, just go in all this wilderness. Just not, maybe like horsebacking in all these wild areas. That seems like a super cool thing to do. I wonder if that's a thing. New Zealand? How about Canada? Does Canada have this? I wonder. Something scenic. And you can like definitely. Okay, I'm taking a little bit of white and mixing it with cerulean blue. Just have that nice blend to it. Yeah, I'm going to just keep going back and forth with the dark and the light. Just want to make that nice blend, especially with this being oils. Is definitely much easier than acrylics. Acrylics is, it's kind of tricky when it comes with acrylics. It's like you gotta wait for that perfect time to blend, because you have to make sure it's wet, but you can't be too wet, and you have this really small window of opportunity to make sure everything blends very well. And sometimes if you overdo it, it doesn't look very nice. In fact, you can even start seeing the brush strokes, like it's not 100% blended, so that's kind of like have all this trouble. Okay, it's looking pretty good. I quite like how the blue is looking so far. Okay, next one, we're gonna do the mountains. So I'm gonna have a little bit of black. I'm gonna take out just a little bit. Black is super powerful. Black is like the OP of all the colors around. It's like you put a lot of color into it, and then all of that can be undone with a single stroke of black. That's how OP black is. Okay, let's see here. I think I'm gonna use a different brush. This one looks a little finer because I guess I took care of it a little better. Gonna take a little bit of white. Let's see, a little bit of white. I think maybe get some cobalt blue in there and a little bit of black. Okay. Just gonna mix. Okay, I feel like it should be darker. Oops. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. So, because we're at landscape, you're gonna go with the concept of the farther it is away from the camera, the lighter it will be. So I'm not using pure black. That will be for the trees that are kind of be like in the foreground. So for the mountains, it's gonna be very kind of like a dark fading, a dark dull blue. That's what it will be. And that, just a little bit, the tiniest of water. And now I am just coloring it all. So this will be interesting. We'll probably have a little bit of the texture of the mountains going on.
I'm just kind of like polka dotting, giving the illusion of texture of the snow up there. Not gonna do a whole lot of it though, because I do want like the reflection of the sky of light blue in there. Okay. Then we'll go on the other side of the mountains here. Over here, you're not going to see much because there is a lot of trees in the way. So this mountain is like a very vertical rock. You can see all the lines going up. So if you guys want to try this with me, I will post this on YouTube along with the reference photo. I got it from Pixabay. I will link it in the video description when it's ready. So over here, it's like you almost can't see it at all. In fact, there's like a mist going on in that area, so actually it's not going to be a lot that's going on. In fact, here it's going to be a little bit of yellow because there's like some sunrise or sunsets that's going on. I think it's very beautiful. I like this reference photo. It's very serene. Very nice indeed. Just gonna block in the colors here again just to make sure. I guess I should do like a little bit of polka dotting here anyways. Do I give a lot of thought about what it is I'm polka dotting? No, not really. Just kind of look at it and like, it looks like a bunch of rocks or whatever, but we can't tell. It's so far away. So poke, 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 poke. Don't think too much of it, I guess. Because the moment you think too much, your mind just go blank. Okay, we are going to go a little bit. We're kind of like in the shadows over here. So it's going to be a little bit blue. It's kind of like the snow on top of the mountain kind of reflects the blue sky. So that's why. It's gonna be a little bit more reflection over here. Just, yeah, look there. Over here, it's gonna be a little bit more. I guess it's kinda quite hard. Kind of overdid it with the shadow, kind of like overlapped here. Okay. I'm gonna add a little bit of black in here, just a tiny bit, like towards the base here. And probably the top, so it kind of looks like mist is going through. So a little trick that I like to do, especially when it comes to acrylics, we're not doing acrylics now, but like, you know how working in different mediums kind of give you different ideas about different things. So like, usually when the paint is still wet, I like to take another brush and I would feather it in. I need to make sure this is really dry though. And it's like nicely feather it in. But if it's too wet, it would actually take the paint, the underlying paint out, and then you'll be there with a problem. So that's not good. Okay, so there's like a little bit of mist going on in there. Okay, so I just feather that in. And we're gonna go like just a little bit, few gingerly touch of that, not super black, just a little bit, very light touch to it. Yeah. So I'm not sure you guys can see. It's really, really small. Yeah. I don't know. Is it worth putting so much effort in a canvas so small? I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I don't know. I feel like just do whatever you like, I guess. I don't know. If you really like to put a lot of effort in it, you know, sometimes people will just look at it and just kind of go, you know, it looks like a nice painting, and then they just walk off. But there'll be some people that will just go, whoa, that looks really good. And they'll like start looking in closer, and they'll be like, oh, look at all that details. And then you're like, ah, you noticed it, didn't you? Oh, Easter egg, ding, 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 or whatever special little things you want to put in there for those who actually spent time looking at it. Maybe I'll put a smiley face in the clouds. You'll never know. I won't do that. I pay too much accuracy in reference photos. So over here you can see the mountain is a little bit black. So I'm gonna look at my okay, get the, guess I'll get the burnt sienna. Burnt umber? Burnt sienna. I guess we can go with burnt umber. Burnt umber is a little darker. Okay, we'll get a little bit of burnt umber in there. Oh my gosh, I haven't opened this yet. And it's a very old case. So when I first got this, I had some problems opening it up. Because it's so stuck. Like I'm using a long nose plier to try and open it right now. Okay, got it. Gosh. Okay, yeah, some of the paint kind of like dried up in there. Okay, we're just gonna use very, very little because I'm not gonna use much of it because it's just only the mountains. Anything in the foreground is just going to be kind of black. Okay, for this part here, I'm going to use a detail brush. So this is size 0. Just gonna draw lines up there. It looks a little too dark though. Oh no, it looks a little too dark. Probably. We'll go with something. Maybe burnt sienna. I'll go with raw sienna. Raw sienna is much lighter. It's kind of like a... Oh no, it's not raw sienna. It's yellow ochre. Please tell me this is easy to open. Yes, it's easy to open. I like it when it's easy. When life is on easy mode. Okay, I want this a little bit as well. Especially when it's a mini painting, guys. We don't need that much. But I'm not used to it. That burnt... What's this? Burnt umber? It's gonna be quite a waste. Quite a waste. I don't like wastage, guys. I don't like wastage at all. So this one's gonna go like pretty. Like vertical lines on top. It's not gonna be much going on. Guess I'll try to make it closer so you guys can see what it is working on. I also thought maybe, I don't know, perhaps you guys have to let me know which one you prefer, to see the painting on its own, or would you like to see a little bit of the color palette as well? I do see some setups by different artists that they do include the color palette. I don't know. Personally, I don't find that helpful, but I do like, I don't do swatches or anything. I know artists that actually keep, like, purposefully lay their colors out for swatches and all that. That's like not my jam. So, I don't know. You guys let me know if you guys want to see the color palette, and I'll try to include the color palette too. You know what? In fact, I think I can color. Yeah, it's my color palette. It's just right here. It's a really small color palette. I never thought of that. I'm sorry. I don't think of these things. I just stay so engrossed in painting. I don't really think about these things. So you can have some of the brown of that burnt sienna. You can also have a little bit here. Let that reflect, like you can see the surface of the mountains through the snow as well. Okay, I'm quite liking it so far. I'm gonna add in some
maybe sunrise colors. We are going to... Ah, no, this is another hard one. Okay, no, okay, managed to open it. Just gonna bring it... I'm just scratching the surface to get that paint on. It's so tiny. Okay. Mini canvases is officially super adorable. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit of that yellow in there. We're not gonna use much because we're just gonna like portray a little bit of that sunrise. So it's kind of like that little cherry on top, so to speak. Oh no. Oh no, it's a little too warm, don't you think, guys? I think oh my god. Just now when I talk smack about lemon yellow, I think lemon yellow is suitable. This is why you shouldn't talk smack about anything, right? Lemon yellow, I need you now. Okay. I feel like that burnt umber. It's a little wasted. Same goes to the cadmium yellow. It's a little bit too dark. Orangey, I guess. Okay. I guess it's nice to have that little glaze of yellow as well. Just that. Okay. Going to get a little bit of that burnt umber. Let's make use of it so I don't regret. I can sleep tonight knowing that I did use some of it. Let's see here. Gonna do a little bit of polka dotting using the really fine tip. Okay, over here we're gonna do a little bit of that as well. Just gonna do a little bit here and just do a little polka dot at the surface there. So I do love mini canvases because I think it's kind of a great way to loosen up a little. Like, it's not like I'm basically just painting lines and polka dots. It's not really, I'm not really cracking my head about this, wondering if is it looking super realistic? Not really. It's just kind of shapes of paint, essentially. So it's kind of a good break from my other usual painting style. So we are going to go forward. So I'm gonna use this one. The thing is, I have textured brushes. These are like essentially your textured brush in digital art, except in real life. But they're too big. That's the thing. It won't be of any use here. Going to go. Let's see. Gonna mix a little bit more black with the already dark blue we mixed in just now. So gonna add in just a little bit of water. I do like that this is water soluble because I do not want to buy. Well, so the thing I hear about is that I've never worked with oils before, mind you, so what I could say could probably be inaccurate, but like working with oils, it can be, you have to deal with things to water to dilute the oil, so you can work with, I can't remember what were the chemicals were, turpentine, or like there's a specific one like linseed oil or something. Like they'll probably have fumes and stuff, and then you have to work in a very proper ventilated area. So that can't work. That can't work for me. But oils is interesting because you can work in a lot of different ways because of how flexible. Well, it depends also how you use it, really, because if you don't know how to use it and then you end up mixing a lot of colors, then it can look very muddy as well. So of course you have to have knowledge in what you are painting. Do I have knowledge in what I'm painting? I mean, I just do what I can, right? I'm just doing like a polka dot Christmas tree thingamajiggy. I'm like essentially being like a little kid that draws tree strands and call it grass. So we have like this army of trees that's ready to attack Mordor. I almost forgot. I almost made them like super aligned and stuff. That's not good. That's not good at all if the trees are so perfectly aligned. You have to have different sizes, different shapes. That's what makes being alive interesting, isn't it? Everybody is different in their own way. If everybody were the same, then where's the fun in that? Okay. We are going to do snow next. For this, I am going to mix white with cerulean blue. Did I mention I like cerulean blue? I like cerulean blue. It's a very easy on the eyes kind of blue, you know? Do I
I know exactly what I'm doing? No, not really. I don't have a ratio in mind. I don't go like one part white, one part blue. I'm just like, I'll just take whatever chunk of paint my brush would lift, and then I'll just like, okay, that'll do. And I'll just start painting. So, it's not science. I just go by, I think this looks good. Okay. It's called a gut feeling, guys. Okay. We are going to do this. So it's snow. But it is blue, reflected off the very, very blue sky up ahead. So this part here is interesting. You can see my mountain just kind of left hanging over there. That's cause there was like a whole mist going on over there and lots of trees. So I didn't do much. Okay, now that's done. I'm gonna try and dry my brush as much as possible. I don't want it too wet. I don't want it to lift the paint that I already established on it to lift up. So I'm going with white. Just putting it in the middle here and just kind of blending it. So we have like nice bluer corners here. Quite white in the middle. Okay. Gonna go with a little bit of that sky blue again. Gonna try and use as much. Gonna dry the brush as much as possible. Then I'll go the corners here. Oh no, it's lifting too much paint. My brush is wetter than I expected. Okay, I guess it's a little better, but I need more blue towards the edges. think I'll add a little bit more water, make my brush a little more wet. Okay. That's it. So the next one we're gonna do is like this little mist that's going on over here. I'm just going to take my brush and just, I don't know, smack some white in there and just let the blending does its job. I'm just going to keep building it up. So I don't want to over mix it, because the moment I over mix it, then it kind of defeats the purpose. It's going to get all muddy and everywhere. So I'm just basically kind of layering all that white on top. Oh, it's really hard though. It's so wet. It's so hard. We're gonna go with a little bit of black. I don't know. Don't know if I should leave this white be. Okay, we're gonna go with, let's see, for this one, I'm curious. I think I'll go with my filbert rake brush. And let's see what texture it'll give me. I don't want to use the normal brush because I want to see what texture. I wanted to use the fan brush, but it looks so big, so I'm using the filbert rake brush instead. But it doesn't really give me the texture I desire. I'm gonna try and use the rake brush. Just experiment a little, but I'll use like one corner and see how it goes. Holy moly, it's so small. Just use one tiny little corner here. I swear, it kind of looks like mascara, like dried up mascara, like how it's hanging onto the brush like that. Nah, it's too big. We'll use the filbert one. Okay. Again, poke, poke, poke. That is essentially what I'm doing in this entire this entire painting is just lines, 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 poke, poke, poke. That is essentially it. That is my job description. Okay, good night, guys. That's all you need to know. Add a little more black to my color palette there, and just keep polka dotting. And adding it to the top. I'm gonna like go over this with another and stretch. I was saying that I'm gonna go over it with a define brush later on. Right now it just kind of looks incomprehensible what I'm doing. Where's my, okay, there it is, hiding under my palette. Okay, I'm gonna go with the really fine brush. Just go on top here. Sometimes it's too big. The brushes are just too big. give the little trees their little legs. They have like little trees here. Polka dot, polka dot, polka dot. Further away they go. Okay. I am trying to think of a way to paint the water. I think we should go full on cadmium. No, not cadmium, cerulean blue. With a mix of cobalt, maybe? Something a little over here. Yeah, so I kind of put too much snow. Needs to be more water. I'm just basically kind of thinning the paint as we go down. I'm gonna particularly make the middle part brighter. So I'm gonna use water and I'm just going to thin the water out. I'm gonna lift the paint up. This is very similar to like watercolor. You're basically using water and you're like lifting the paint up to get a lighter area without using white and when the paint is still wet. So this is a trick to do. Sometimes it lifts off, sometimes it kind of spreads. You can see like there's an overlapping here. It kind of spreads around as well. So depending on, usually for acrylics it's mostly spreading around and lifting it up, so it's a little, again, acrylics is a little bit tricky. That's why it's kind of tricky to blend. So why I am making it a little brighter here, it's to reflect the clouds and at the back there. Actually, even when I look at it, even needs more. The lake actually eats up a lot more space than I thought. So the reflection is not going to be a carbon copy of what is on top. If you've ever seen photos that looks like a complete copy of what is on top of the top side, it's either Photoshop where they flip the image and make the water look as if it's totally not moving, like it has no ripples, or there's like, I know if I remember correctly, there's like this place on Earth where the salt content of the water is so high that it almost gives a mirror image. So that was interesting. But most of the time, water is never still. So when we do this, I'm gonna do that with, and we have to keep in mind that we're not doing a carbon copy on top. So it's gonna be a less detailed version, so it's gonna try that out. But for now, we are doing more details here. So we're kind of like doing shrubs around here. I have to do this really gingerly because we're like supposed to be really small branches sticking out, and right now it just looks really fat. Gonna do a few of these. And I'm just really just kind of like doing little squiggly lines of little bushes and shrubs going on. definitely important if you want to go with this style of painting on a canvas this small. Definitely get the finest brush. This is a size 0, so yeah, get a size 0 brush. I don't think there's any number smaller than 0 for a brush. Okay, so that's mostly it. I would put it around here. I would use a bigger brush. I'm going to go to the burnt umber. I keep mixing up whether it's burnt umber or raw sienna. Raw sienna is the lighter one. I'm gonna go with the darker one. And we just kind of make impressions in the snow. I guess we'll mix it with a little bit of black. Okay. So right now it's just kind of like detailing. I am trying to draw rocks here, but I also do have to go back a bit with the white. So we're gonna do again with the polka dots and everything, because that is quite impertinent. It's hard to avoid when there's like so much details going on, but like from this angle we're like, I can't really see it. They just kind of look like polka dots to me, and polka dots I shall paint. It kind of looks like dirt and stuff. Kind of looks like something's going on over there. so it doesn't look like a super flat plane, which is interesting. I quite like the idea. Like even towards here, there's gonna be a lot of texture. So I'm just gonna, cause my brush is kind of dry right now, I am just kind of brushing it on top of the canvas so the tooth of the canvas can peek out. So it kind of looks like there's a lot of texture going on just by brushing the dry bristles onto the painting, onto the canvas. So I'm gonna get the white over here, and I'm gonna take like a thick, fat white. And I'm just going to just poke a dot around here. Am I focusing too much details on it? I wonder. It's looking like it's getting all a bit much. Alright, there you go. Next, gonna take some of these here and make them a little taller. I think we need more groundwork here. So now I'm using the texture of the canvas to my advantage. Just taking a dry brush and then just sliding those gooey paint on top of it, and whatever tooth catches the paint, you already have like some form of texture going on. So yeah, I am liking that. So last one is, well, the water. Not super comfortable with this, but I'm getting the dark blue, and I am doing I'm super drying the cloth, the other brush, the one that, you know, not so well maintained brush, as much as I can. I want to try a trick that I saw on Bob Ross's videos, and I want to see if that works with this one as well. So I don't know. I don't really watch much of his videos, but then like basically he would paint stuff like that. And then he would feather it out. He would feather it out. Like for example, you just basically, you take the basic shape of the trees, and then what he would do is he would feather it like that. It is probably different though. I don't think it works as well here. Gotta do my own. That looks okay. It doesn't look too bad. That looks pretty good actually. Taking a whole bunch of black and just painting this entire stretch black here. I don't know. There's a big tree right here. So yeah. Oh. Gonna take some yellow or raw sienna. So we got some raw sienna up here, and we're just going to make that impression on the river just to capture that essence. Can put a little bit around here as well, just to remind the viewer that there is a sunrise going on up there. And I got a little bit of white here, so we can add some white to that over here. I'll try to feather this. The white is still very wet though, so I don't think it'll work as fine. Oh, that works nice. Oh, it does work. That's so cool. Hey, I always wanted to do this, but you can never do this with acrylics, so this is really cool. I will little bit more black because it took out some of the black there. Okay, then we got a little bit here, a little bit of the dark blue left. And we're doing the same thing here. Get a little bit of white. Just gonna chuck it there. And a little bit of yellow. Got a little bit of black. And I'm gonna take the brush again. This one's gonna be for the nearby shrubs. These guys. Aha, and there you go. A mountain scenery. We are done. What do you guys think? Thank you everybody for watching. I really hope you enjoyed that. And if you did, it would mean a lot if you like and subscribe and even comment. It would help so much with the search engine of YouTube to help bring this channel to anybody who wants to see it. I've been doing this for 5 years and I only got 600 subs. Gosh, it's long. So yeah, I would appreciate the help. That's all for today. I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao!